Hey guys, this is Goku, and today we're gonna talk about another hand that happened on 888 Poker, and this is a fairly late stage of the tournament. The blinds are 2.5k, and the ante is 325. Our hero sits on the stack of 50 big blinds and is on the middle position with ace 10 off. The action falls to us, so obviously we open ace 10 off from the middle position. The action folds around to the big blind, who completes, and we see a flop of 10 tray, jack, all of clubs. So we flop a second pair with the nut flush draw. Uh, and the villain checks to us. What can we say about the villain? Well, he's got, based on the 106 hands we've played with him, he's got pretty solid stats. I would say maybe he's a regular player. Uh, his c-bet frequency is quite low on the flop, just 30%, and his fold to c-bet is 0%. But other than that, I would say his stats are, well, maybe also fold to steal, but yeah, this is just 106 hands, so the stats aren't very accurate. But nevertheless, the villain checks to us, and with ace 10 here, with the second pair and the nut flush draw, we have a fairly easy spot to c-bet. I guess we are really c-betting close to 100% of our range on this flop, because it's very one way. It's the kind of a flop that either you hit big or you miss completely, but it's very action heavy, so it's a good idea to c-bet on the lower side, so about 30% we c-bet, and the villain raises it uh, over 3x. So because this flop is so connected uh, and draw heavy, and he called from the big blind, we can really expect him to have quite a wide range, and he will really have all the draws here. He will have all the king queens, all the 9 8s, all the 10 9s, jack 10s. Well, jack 10 isn't a draw, but jack queen, hands like queen 9, queen 7. He will have a lot of these. He will also have a lot of made flushes, because he will often call a hand like, I don't know, king 5 suited here, or king 8 suited here, and all kinds of hands. So he has certainly a few flushes in his range. He can have the ace high flushes, which is good, but he will have a lot of other flushes and a lot of other draws. He will have pocket threes here. He will have 10 jacks fairly often when he raises here. This raise basically tells us that he's either got a hand like 10 jack, so 2 pair, or pocket threes, so a set of threes, or a made flush. Uh, Maybe a hand like king queen with the king of clubs could take this line. It's fairly early in the hand, so he may be doing this with quite a wide range. So I think we should just call this and reevaluate on the turn. But our hero has another idea on his mind, and he 3x's it. And I think this is not the best way to play this hand. To 4-bet here as a bluff with just the ace of clubs. I'm unsure if he's just semi-bluffing with a hand like king queen with the king of clubs, or like 9 queen with the queen of clubs. Sure, he will have a fair bit of these hands, and maybe he's even willing to go all in with them here. But basically, I would say the vast majority, like 75% of the time, when he doesn't fold here but calls or goes all in, he will have a hand that crushes us. So a flush, or a set, or 2-pair, or some kind of a combo draw. So if we are 4-betting here as a bluff, I think I would actually prefer a smaller sizing, so that we can 4-bet as a bluff and 4-bet fold, basically. So if we were to go like say 36k here, that would give us a much wider range of possibilities if we are to 4-bet, because I think 4-betting here is not a good idea. It would make much bigger sense to just call this and reevaluate on the turn, see what he does. Because yeah, 4-betting here 3x basically makes it an all-in spot. We shouldn't really be folding here if we're investing 50k and leaving 72 behind. This is not a spot where we can fold, and I'm not sure if it's such a great idea to invest so heavily in a spot like this, where he's got all the flushes and all the big hands, and we just have a draw to the nuts, basically. So let's see what the villain does. And the villain shoves all in, which is generally not the outcome we would hope to happen, because, like I said, probably like 3 out of 4 times when he's willing to go all in here, he will have us crushed, and the other quarter of cases, he will have a hand which will have a huge equity against us. So there's really not many cases where we'll be ahead, but we don't really have any other choice but to call this. So we call. The turn is another 3, and the river is a queen, so bringing us the nut flush draw. And let's see what the villain had. And the villain had 9-8 of clubs, so a made flush on the flop, and a made straight flush on the river. So Even though we hit our ace high flush, we're still losing to the royal flush. I mean the straight flush. So not the best outcome. But yeah, like I said, probably the biggest mistake here is 4-betting here, and also 4-betting so heavily. In general, I think you don't need to 4-bet 3x. In most cases, it's better to use a smaller sizing so that you can do it more often and have more bluffs in your range as well as value hands. But if we 4-bet here to almost 50k, we cannot fold to a shove, so this hand really plays out itself. But if we just call here, the 16k, then the pot is what, 48k. We've got 105 behind, and we can reevaluate this hand on the turn, see what he does, and so on and so forth. So yeah, in general, I think the hero played this hand badly on the flop. It's not a spot where you wanna just close your eyes and gamble with just the ace high flush draw. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this hand. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.